Hello and welcome to A Journey to Awareness. Are you ready to take a voyage to the uncharted places within you, where you will be guided to ways to heal your wounds, look at your life choices, release your fears, and take control of your future? Stick with me through these podcasts and you will take the most exciting adventure of your life, the journey to you. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to A Journey to Awareness. I'm Shauna Hoffman. This second season of my podcast is wrapped around something I call the rhythm of our lives. In the first episode, I spoke about how our bodies, minds, and souls can feel a rhythm to it if we are self-aware enough to sense it. Maybe a vibration, maybe a new beat or a melody that's trying to guide us to where we're supposed to be. I touched on the thought that sometimes we get stuck in the song of our current life when everything in your life is begging you to change the radio station, change that song, let go. But something has held you back. Like a record that keeps skipping, or a Spotify channel that replays the same song over and over. Your spirit is wanting something so different, but it just won't change. In that moment, you know you are craving a totally different vibration, but it's like Groundhog Day. Over and over, nothing changes. Here's the truth. That stuck feeling will eventually affect you in ways that you don't expect. You'll start to feel anxious or unmotivated or even depressed. This is what happens when your soul knows it's time for change and you just can't bring yourself to do it. Today, on this second episode of this season, I want to delve into one of the most common things that stop us from changing. Even when your life is screaming for it and friends are saying, oh, come on, do it, believe in yourself. One of the biggest things that stop us is fear of failure. And here's an interesting thing. Fear of failure isn't just about failing in the future. It's also a fear that if you make this change, leave that unhealthy relationship, end a marriage, quit your job, you're actually admitting defeat. So many times people will say to me, oh, it was a failed marriage. No, it didn't fail. It ran its course. It wasn't healthy anymore. You weren't happy anymore. You lost your genuine self in deference to the marriage. You are not a failure if you tried everything to make something work. Okay, we're going to leave the whole leave or stay in a relationship conversation for a whole nother episode for another day. For today, let's play with some of these judgments that swirl around in your mind when your soul is screaming for change. Shauna, if I quit my job, it must mean that I failed to make it work. I must not be smart enough or savvy enough or creative enough. Shauna, if I end this friendship, it must mean that I'm a horrible friend. Or this one, this diet sucks and I can't do it. I failed at it. I'll never lose weight. Listen carefully to this wisdom. Change is not admitting defeat. Being self-aware enough to realize that something is no longer working for you, no longer making you happy, no longer moving you forward in your life, no longer supporting your dreams, then it's time to change. Here's a really great quote by John Wooden. It puts the word failure in such a great perspective. Failure is not fatal, but failure to change might be. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about cutting and running in times of challenges. I'm talking about being self-aware enough to check in with your body, heart, soul, and life's rhythm. Okay, let's try a little self-awareness diagnosis. I want you to ask yourself, is your body trying to tell you something? Are you getting headaches? Are you feeling anxiety or stress? Are you sleeping well, clenching your jaw? Are you having feelings that are overwhelming and they just don't seem to go away? This despite any effort you might make to manage them? Are you grouchy? Are you overeating to fill a void? Then check in and ask yourself, do you feel fulfilled in your life? Oh, this one is so important. If you are continually feeling so dissatisfied or restless or unfulfilled in your current situation, it is definitely a sign that something needs to change. So many people are brought up with the false belief that you're not supposed to be fulfilled. Oh yeah, you're supposed to just get through life, work hard, make money, take care of family, and that should be all it takes to be fulfilled. Oh, you know what? I beg to differ. I think my next podcast episode is going to be all about what it means to be fulfilled. Okay, back to your self-awareness check-in. Here's one that most people are afraid to look at: joy. It's when activities or interests that normally bring you lots of joy no longer do. You've lost your passion or your interest in the current situation, or your current situation has caused you to lose passion for life. I see this with so many clients and friends. They're just going through the motions every day with not very much joy. And the funny part is that they don't think that's odd. For me, I truly believe that passion is what keeps us out of depression. And I'm not talking about sexual passion or intimacy. I'm talking about that spark inside of us, that spark that creates joy. In other words, is your current rhythm and song just boring as hell? Okay, here's one of the most typical ways people avoid change. They self-medicate. They might have those extra drinks a couple of times a week, or find that they need to smoke weed when they come home at the end of the day. Then some people actually have a little bit healthier way of self-medicating. They kick up their adrenaline and their hormones by becoming workout addicts. Oh, believe me, working out is one of the best things that you can do for your moods, but not if that's the only thing that's keeping you happy. Okay, here's a few other ways people go into denial that they're being called to make a change in their life, being called to be uncomfortable for just a little while in order to find happiness. They turn all their attention on other people instead of themselves. They put other people's needs or the company's needs or their friends' or partner's needs before their own needs. It's self-sacrifice, and wow, it sure seems like a noble thing to do until it's not. Until you are living everyone else's song instead of your own. So think about all the parts in your life and see if you are living in Groundhog Day. Think about it for a second. Think about your relationship. Work. How do you have fun? How do you play? Yeah, this can actually get boring too. Have you wanted to move to another town, city, or country? Have you wanted to learn something new? Change up your look, your clothes, chop off your hair, paint your house. I won't pretend that change is easy. I won't pretend that change brings immediate joy. I won't pretend that there are not lessons that go with it. But I will say that the lessons in your life and the difficulty and unhappiness you feel if you don't change are so much worse. And here's the best part. I'm now going to list all of the amazing rewards to making change in your life. Change opens doors to new opportunities, new friendships, new possibilities, careers, new hobbies, new personal growth. Some of the best ways to grow as a human is to challenge yourself, to step out of comfort zones and grow, learn something new. It gives you resilience. You learn and discover new strengths that you didn't even know you had. And with that, wow. Your confidence boosts to new highs, and that gives you the strength to take on even more challenges, tackle more obstacles, which in turn builds more self-confidence and more belief in yourself. It's all this fabulous trajectory of how one thing builds on the other. And with all of it, you find a new perspective on life. You start to see the world in a totally new way. My favorite part? Change offers you a sense of adventure and excitement. And sometimes that adventure and excitement is travel. And sometimes that adventure and excitement is a new relationship or a new home or a new city or a new job. All of this gives you a new vitality and an energy for life. And guess what? Your rhythm changes and your song becomes your own. If you can embrace with an open mind and an open heart, you can create a life that brings you so much vibrancy and meaning and possibilities. So go ahead, change that Spotify channel in your soul, turn up the volume and sing. Beautiful listeners, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast today. Please be good to yourselves. Surround yourself with loving beings. Take chances in life. Drink lots of water. Try new adventures. And most of all, be kind and gentle with yourself. Thank you for letting me into your life this week. and I look forward to checking in again next time. Thank you for joining me today on the Journey to Awareness podcast. My hope is that you leave this podcast inspired, fired up, and ready to take that next step on the magical journey of self-awareness. And then you come back and join us again. Be sure to visit me on my Facebook page, Working on Me, and on my website, workingonme.com, for past episodes and insights into the fabulous journey to you.